Okay, good morning class. Welcome back. Okay, let us continue with the second chapter that we are doing in geography. Now, in the previous class, we had begun with the second chapter, that is population dynamics. In this chapter, what we have learned in the previous class is the meaning of population. So we learned about how the population in the world has been increasing rapidly. The speed or the growth in the number of people that is living on the planet has been increasing at a very high speed. Okay, now we also learned that on the earth, the number of people living to reach 1 billion, it took around thousands and hundreds of years ago. Thousands and hundreds of years to reach 1 billion. But for the same population to increase to 7 billion, it just took around 200 years. Alright? And another thing that we learned is the meaning of population density. Now, population density is the number of people living per square kilometer. Okay? Per square kilometer. Okay, we also learned another thing that we learned is the three things that we learned is the density of population can be divided into three types, that is high density, medium density and low density. Okay, now apart from that, what we learned in the previous class is why the different reasons why in some places of the earth there are more number of people living there, and in some places of the earth there are less number of people living. What are the different reasons? Today we shall be continuing with such reasons. Okay, so if you look at page number 18, the topic factors affecting population of a place. Now, if we look at the factors, it is divided into three parts. First is there are the geographical factors, then we have the economical factors, and then we have the social factors. Now, the first thing that we are going to do today is the geographical factors which affects the population of the place. Under geographical factor, the first thing that we are going to do is climate. Now, when we talk about climate, we are talking about how hot or how cold a place is. All right. So, the first factor, so I repeat, factors affecting population of a place. There are three factors. That is, first is the geographical factor, then we have the economic factor, and then we have the social factor. In your book, geographical factor is given separately, but economic and social factor has been combined together. So we shall be learning in a similar pattern. Okay, so let us begin with geographical factors. Under geographical factor, the first thing is climate. What do you mean by climate? Climate is how hot or how cold a place is. Now, depending upon the hotness or the coldness of a place, the population is justified. Okay, so in places which are extremely hot, like the hot deserts of the world, you find less number of people living there. And also places which are extremely cold, that is the North Pole and the South Pole, and also in places like the high mountainous areas, because it is covered with snow. Okay, so depending upon places which are extremely hot or extremely cold, you do not find many people living there. In fact, there are no people living in the deserts or in the North Pole and South Pole. But in places which have climate which are moderate means which is neither very hot or neither very cold. Okay, so the climate is just enough, or the climate is suitable for people to live in those areas. So neither too hot or neither too cold. The next one is soil. So when we talk about soil, see, let's talk in terms of our country, India. So when we are talking about soil, we are talking about how fertile it is, because India is an agricultural country. We carry out a lot of agricultural activities which helps us to earn a lot of revenue. Okay, so when we talk in terms of soil, we are talking about how fertile the soil is. So in places like the river valleys, if this is the river, if this is the course of the river, and you have a hill on this side, you have a hill on this side. So in these river valleys, near this area, near the river valleys, this area is going to be highly populated. Because if you look at the next topic, it says water. So here, water is also available, and fertile soil, the soil which is brought down by the river and deposited on the sides of its bank, or deposited in the bank. This part of the valleys are extremely fertile because it is the sediments that has been brought down by the river through erosion. Okay, so places where the soil is extremely fertile in India, like the valleys or the Ganga plain, those areas near the river Ganga and Yamuna, that part, Uttar Pradesh, that part, it is extremely populated, densely populated. The population is extremely high because the soil is fertile. Now, why do we require fertile soil? To carry out agricultural activities. Alright. Next point, I've already explained. Water is essential. Essential means it is important. Water is essential for the survival of all human beings. Why do we need water? Water is used for drinking, it is used for cleaning, it is used for washing, and it is also used for agricultural activities. So in places where you find water which is easily available, the population is extremely high, or the density of population in that area where water is easily available is extremely high. Now, natural vegetation. When we talk about natural vegetation, we are talking about the trees, the plants that is available, the number of trees and number of plants that is available. Okay. In areas which have a lot of trees, let's say it is a forest, okay, lots of trees, and these areas, now see, not when there are trees, they are not only trees but small plants also. It is extremely dense. Dense meaning the forest is thick, is so thick that you are unable to pass through the forest. You are unable to cut down so many trees and then make it available or make it spacious for construction. So in areas where the forest is extremely dense, where there are thick forests, people do not live there. Not only construction is not available or not easily available, but you may find a lot of wild animals. Okay, so it will not be safe for people to live in these areas. Dense forests are inaccessible. From the book, page 18, Natural Vegetation. Dense forests are inaccessible, meaning you will not be able to cross those forests, or you will not be able to pass through those forests easily because it is extremely thick. It is a very thick jungle. Accessible and do not encourage human settlement. They usually have low population density. And the best example for dense forest is the Amazon rainforest. All those students who do not know what is the Amazon rainforest, please look up in the internet. All right, please look it up, the Amazon rainforest. When you look up on the internet, you will go to images, you will see that the forest, an image will come where the forest is extremely dense, extremely thick, that passing through that forest or carrying out any activities in those forests is not easy. That is why people do not settle down in those areas. Next is economic and social factors. Now, when we talk in terms of economic factors, when we say economy, we are talking in terms of money. So, in what type of places? See, when we are talking in terms of economy, you have to keep in mind that, see, people have to earn a living. They have to work and earn a living. So, in those places where jobs are easily available, people would love to settle down there. Alright. So, you know that in the cities, when you talk in terms of big cities like Calcutta, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, in these are very densely populated cities. The number of people living in that area is extremely high. Understood? Now, why is the economic factor comes here? Why is because there are more number of jobs, and these jobs are also easily available. Understood? It may not be a very well paying job, but even then jobs are easily available when you compare it to other places. Alright. Now, in some areas, when we talk in terms of economic reason, some places like Jharkhand are rich in minerals. So, because in Jharkhand minerals are easily available, you have a lot of factories. So, where there are more number of where minerals are available, like in places like Jharkhand, minerals are available. So, because minerals are available, factories are built. Now, when factories are built, you require people to do the jobs. So, in those places, the density of population in these areas are extremely high. So, minerals and industries, page 19, first topic, right hand side corner. Mineral resources. Regions which have rich mineral resources attract people, and the density of population in these regions is extremely high. Now, industries, development of industries. See, where you find minerals, you will have factories and industries, and where there are factories and industries, obviously jobs are available. So, that is why people will be migrating, or those people living in this area will also be added by, the population will be added by those people migrating from other places. Okay. So, development of industries provide employment opportunities and attract people. Therefore, the industrial regions of the world have high population density. Example, in India, states of Maharashtra, Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat. Alright, okay. Transport facilities, like I said yesterday, transportation is extremely important in the modern era. To travel from one place, to commute from one place, communication is extremely important. If you have a business and you want your business to grow, communication, transportation is extremely important. Not only for your business to grow, but now sometimes when students are going to school, people are going for their jobs, you are traveling for medical reasons. If there are no proper roads, you will not be able to go to these places on time. So people would always love to stay in places where the transport facility is easily available and the roads are also pakka roads. Regions which have good transport networks such as the plains and the coastal areas are densely populated because they support economic activities. Other example I give you is Kalimpong in comparison to Siliguri. I told you that in Siliguri, roads are easily available because the construction, it is a level land. So that is why constructions of road is extremely easy in comparison to Kalimpong. Kalimpong is a hilly area and construction is not so easy. Okay, urbanization. Next is urbanization means when there is a development of towns and cities. Okay, development of towns and cities. Urban areas have better infrastructure and job opportunities than rural areas. Therefore, many people migrate, that means they move to the cities to live temporarily or to live permanently. Thus, cities and towns have a high density of population in comparison to the rural areas. Okay, we shall be doing till here today. In the next class, I shall be starting with factors affecting growth rate of population. Thank you.